We all know that moment. Someone says something sharp, uncalled for, and suddenly your chest tightens, your jaw clenches. You feel it. That need to respond, to defend, to prove you're not someone to be messed with. But what if I told you that every reaction, every word, every breath you give away in anger costs you? Not in money, in something far more valuable. Your focus, your peace, your energy. Stoic philosophy has known this for centuries, that every reaction is a transaction, and the price is almost always too high. Imagine walking through chaos and staying calm, being tested but never triggered. Today, you'll learn how to stop wasting yourself on what doesn't deserve you, not by suppressing emotion, but by choosing where it goes. Let's begin. Here's the first truth. You don't owe anyone a reaction. Not every comment needs a comeback. Not every glare needs a glare back. Not every insult deserves your energy. Marcus Aurelius said, "You always have the option of having no opinion." Let that settle. No opinion. Here are Stoic ways to stop reacting and protect your energy when the world tries to provoke you. You don't need to engage. You don't need to explain. You don't need to make them understand. Because every time you react, you give something away. Time, focus, calm. And for what? To feel right for 5 seconds? To prove a point no one remembers tomorrow? That's not strength. That's being spent. But silence. Silence is a decision. It's saying, this isn't worth me. And the strongest person in the room isn't the loudest. It's the one who stays still while everyone else tries to make them move. There's always a moment. Before the reaction, a breath, a pause, a space. But most people, they don't see it. Something happens, and they react. Fast, raw, unfiltered, like it's automatic, like they have to. But Stoics knew, you never have to. That space before the reaction, that's your power. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." It's not the insult. It's the story you tell yourself about it. It's not the look. It's the meaning you assign to it. And that story is where the cost begins. What if you didn't react right away? What if you breathed, paused, chose? Most things aren't worth the weight they put on you. Most reactions aren't worth the energy they burn. And when you learn to see it that way, to use that space, you take back control, not by being cold, not by being passive, but by being absolutely intentional. Most people fear silence. They think silence means losing, backing down, being weak. But Stoics knew better. Silence isn't retreat, it's control. It's the strength to sit with discomfort without reacting to it. When you stay quiet, not because you're scared, but because you've already decided this noise isn't worth your peace, you win. Seneca said, "Sometimes even to live is an act of courage." But in our world, to stay silent when everyone is shouting, that's the real courage. They want your reaction. They feed off it. It validates their chaos. But when you don't respond, they're left with their own noise, their own mess, their own mirror. Silence forces reflection. It shows them, you're not here to entertain the drama. Not every provocation deserves a reply. Not every question deserves your answer. And when you learn to speak only when necessary, what you say starts to matter more. Because now, you're not reacting, you're choosing. And every word you don't say protects a piece of you they'll never get to touch. You only have so much energy, so much focus, so much calm, and every time you give it to drama, to noise, to every opinion that pokes at your peace, you lose. Not loudly, but slowly. quietly. You trade your clarity for chaos. You trade your power for a moment of being right. But the Stoics, they didn't play that game. They knew. Reaction is easy. Restraint is rare. Marcus Aurelius didn't react to every rumor. He wrote to himself to remember who he was when the world tried to make him forget. So ask yourself, is this moment worth your strength? Is this person worth your peace? Because the truth is, most things aren't threats. They're tests. Tests of who you are. Tests of how much noise it takes to pull you out of your center. But if you don't move, if you don't give in, you become untouchable. Not because you fight, but because you don't have to. That's not indifference. That's self-mastery. From now on, don't react to everything. Don't let small things pull big energy from you. Let the noise pass. Let the comments drift. Let people say what they say. You know who you are. You don't need to prove it. You don't need to respond. Because when you stop reacting, you stop bleeding energy into places that never deserved your presence. Your calm becomes your power. Your silence becomes your stance. And the world, it won't know what to do with that. With someone who doesn't flinch, doesn't chase, doesn't explain. That's what Stoicism teaches. That's what it means to lead yourself. So next time you're tempted to respond, pause and ask, is this worth it? If the answer is no, let it go. Keep your peace. Protect your strength. Guard your silence. Because every reaction is a cost, and you've learned how to stop paying it. If this video helped you, hit the like button, share it with someone who needs it, and comment below. What's one moment you regret reacting to, and how would you handle it now, knowing what you know? Subscribe for more Stoic tools to help you stay focused, calm, and unshakable, no matter what life throws at you. You've got this, and I'll see you in the next one.